So hopefully I've set the groundwork for you to understand why we need to look at SAM. So I want to show you guys the Systems Accelerator Manager. Now, we affectionately call it SAM, and hopefully you will too. Now, at the very front, we've got a dashboard, and it's pretty well like most dashboards. You can see what kind of things you have going on, calendar stats, your outbox, any things that you've sent. We can look at our call list, who we need to call, who we're running a little bit behind on getting contacted with. And then we can go into our database. Now, this is just a demo database, so all of this information is fictitious. But one of the things that we can do when we look inside our database, and I'll pull my demo contact, is we can have access to lots and lots of different things. Now, one of the things that's going to set SAM apart is off the bat, this contact preference. Now, when we are working with folks, sometimes they have lots of different ideas as to what they prefer. I know for me, I don't really like being on the phone all that much. And so I like to say, I'm a millennial, don't call me. Well, that probably is a statement that could indicate that I either prefer emails or text messages. So knowing that as you're working with me allows you as the real estate agent to give me a better experience because you're personalizing it to my needs. So inside the system, one of the ways you can do that is your contact preference. Like I said, don't call me. Maybe it's going to be, I prefer receiving information by email. Now, this is a pretty standard behavior that companies will ask for. Do you prefer email or text message? But how often do you see that inside your CRM? Now, the other way you can do that is in your language. One of the really powerful ways that we've been able to help some of our customers is down in Texas. We have a broker who works with lots of different native speaking populations. And so sometimes he needs a template to be written in Spanish. Sometimes he needs a template to be written in English. And inside the system, he can actually inherently convert that as it's going out of the system based on their language preference, meaning every time you're talking to a client, they can receive it in the language that is easiest for them to understand. So these are just two of the ways in which we can personalize messages. But the third one is actually under the personal details as well as the priorities section. Now, priorities is all about what things are your clients dreaming up when they're looking for properties. And then the personal details would be all those little fun facts that you learn about them. But where traditional CRMs are going to hold on to this information, SAM is actually going to be able to take this information and use it inside the messages it creates for you. So an example of this, maybe I send an email and gosh, it's going to be a birthday email, but I don't really know what I want to send. So I could tell SAM, I want to send a happy birthday message using a personal detail from the personal details section to make sure it is friendly and celebratory. So in just saying like, oh, well, here's the overall goal, I can have SAM not only build this content for me, but it's using the information inside the database to make sure it's personalized. So my demo contact says that I enjoy coffee, which I do. And in doing so, SAM was able to say, oh, well, he likes coffee. Let's make sure we include some bits about coffee in this specific message. And in that, I specifically called attention to dark roast, so it calls that up. Now, this is a way that we can quickly and easily make personalized messages that we could send off to contacts. Now, the last thing that I want to showcase in this specific database is our important dates, because this is how we rethink workflow automation. So when I was working with agents in the past, I said that it would take lots and lots of weeks to build out these automations. I'm going to show you how we can actually build it quicker. But all of these automations in the past have been multi-step processes, the contract through close process, the new lead process. And those are sometimes really difficult to understand unless we've been at real estate for a very long time. Now, what this leads to is agents who just simply throw up their hands and don't build automations because they don't know where to start. And so Sam has been able to take this concept and make it so much easier for you, whether you understand how to build systems or not. And that's through the important dates. So all of these different dates are important dates that could have automations tied to them. And anytime they get filled out, it automatically triggers. Now, a great example of this is the birthday. When you learned my birthday, you throw that into my contact, and maybe we have a birthday automated routine built out. And we'll show you what that looks like in just a second. Well, because we had that built out and it was started when you added my birthday, that routine automatically gets started, and then you don't have to worry about it because it got filled out. So this is one of the ways in which we can help create better experiences for our contacts. Now, any good real estate CRM is also going to have access to a properties database. And inside our demo properties, you can see that not only do we have owner information, property details, location, you can also start specific automations based on that. You can look at notes. You could also include external URLs. Now, this is one of my favorite things that you can include because you could actually have merge fields that are pulling URLs from specific properties for specific things like air filter replacements or refrigerator water filters. Now, you build out an automation that puts this into the proper cadence. You know, every 2 to 3 months, you need to replace your air filter. Well, you could send your past clients these notifications helping them out. So some really cool stuff there. You can also have photo galleries and look at all of the different pieces. But once you have a property that's ready to list, boom, now we have a listing database. You can look at a historical account if it has multiple listings that you've helped deal with. You can look at all of the different pieces from your listing details, showing information, all of your party members. You could even look at the estimated proceeds that you should be expecting, or you could even look at a number of listing offers that you had. You could collect and evaluate which one is the best. And at every step in this, you're using just a little bit of AI's understanding and nuance powered by myself and my team, understanding what you as a real estate agent do to be able to create something great. Now, imagine you'd be able to give a comparative score to your customers, helping them understand, gosh, which offer is the best offer? And then you can move from there. Now, once you have a listing go through, you accept an offer, then you have a transaction made. And the goal would be for you to have a transaction multiple times on a single property because you've been helping them. So you could keep a historic record of all of the different transactions. You could look at all the details, the important transaction dates for starting automations, and all of the different pieces that go into this, including external docs, closing information, or just random notes on this. And then for some of our folks that we work with, they actually are engaged in projects. So we built out a new database for most real estate CRMs called the projects database. Now, inside of this, let's imagine that you and your brokerage work with either contractors or just sellers to actually do some fix and flip, and then they sell the property at the end of it, or they start renting out the property. Well, those kind of projects can be managed inside this database, giving you just an additional ability to manage and oversee your data. Again, at every step in the process, Sam is able to understand and use this information to help you out. So this is how we use our system to inform our real estate.